Hi, Paul Hefty here with the Triangle O football system. I want to show you some simple ways to create some formation variations and also chunk together personnel groups. Let's take a look. So the first variation we like to use is where we just compress any of the sets and we just call this a squeeze. You can do this to any of the formations. Here it is with a duo 2x2 alignment. And you can see we're just going to come in where the receivers are now 1 yard splits from each other. Here then is a visual of Penn State doing a compressed or squeezed duo right formation. Great to use with your outside attack, and then it creates natural rubs with your pass game. Next then is where we simply bring in our A slot receiver into a wing, so we simply get a duo right double wing with this. One of my favorites is just to use a simple stack with the Z and the A receiver. What we do is the A still aligns right on the hash off the ball, but then the Z comes in and aligns 1 yard inside of him. Next is a great 3x1 set, which we call tray right, because we're going to take the H back and put him on the line of scrimmage. We call this now a Y receiver, and then we bring the X over to the 3 receivers, putting in between the A and the Z in the slot. One of the things I like to do from the tray set when we ask the H back to become a Y on the line of scrimmage is use a stand-up stance here that I used when I was a head coach at the Division III level, something I got from the University of Iowa. Here then is a visual of Penn State doing it. This is tray right. You can see we've got the Z, the X, and the A wide, but then we've got the H back weak and a traditional Y on the line of scrimmage tight end. To keep the system simple but yet be multiple, we chunk together unique alignments with offensive packages, which we call groups here. So here this is an Indy right. We're going to get a wide bunch. Now with the Z and the A using their stack alignment, but then the X aligns inside as the number 3 receiver, and the H back becomes that Y on the line of scrimmage weak. Next, we can do our offensive package called NASCAR right here. You can see the H is in its traditional off and over alignment. The Z then takes what we call a 3 yard nasty split from the offensive tackle, and the A is 1 yard outside of him off in his stack alignment. The X will use his normal rules of away from the call and on the numbers. We can start to use movements, and again, if we use the movement call before the formation, that means that they will align opposite and end up in that call. So this is a drive motion, meaning the H-back's going to go across, duo right, so he would line up opposite and then motion into the duo set. Just like we like to compress the formations at the beginning with the squeeze calls, we like to go ahead and stretch the formations and use what we call as a wide call with any formation. Here then, you can see the X is going to go and align 4 yards from the sideline. The Z would do the same, and the A now is going to align 4 yards inside the numbers. We can also get into some imbalanced sets where we can manipulate the defensive numbers. This is a strong call for us, so this would be strong duo right. That just tells the X receiver to come over and split the difference between the Z and the A, but now on the line of a scrimmage like it traditionally does as an ineligible receiver. You can do it out of trio, and then we get a 4x1 look. Again, strong just tells the X to come over, split the difference between the Z and the A as a number 2 receiver, but still on the line of scrimmage as an ineligible receiver. Next, we get into our empty 5 wide sets. Real simple rules are if it's an even number, then that's a duo alignment for our receivers. If it's an odd number, it's a trio. So you can look here, 40 right we'll get into our duo set, but 40 tells the back to align away between the X and the H in a slot position using a wide receiver stance. 50 now is odd, so that's a trio set for the skill players, but it tells the back still to go align away in the slot. 60, even number, puts us in a duo set, but the back goes towards now is a number 3 receiver between the tackle and the A. 70, odd number, means we're in a trio set, but again, back aligns towards the call, splitting the difference between the H and the A, getting us in a 4x1 alignment. We can also use simple shifts with our core personnel to go from a 1-back to a 2-back alignment. Simply here, the back always does his shift from the pistol to his alignment, but now we have the H move from his wing position into the backfield also to a 2-back set. This is a full right. Another way to get into a 2-back alignment is to use your A receiver as the second back and shift him into the backfield, and this is a doubles right. Do the same thing with the A receiver coming in the backfield and be in a 3x1 set, and now we go to a triples right 2-back alignment. Next, we can get into personnel groupings where we take the A receiver out and replace him with a traditional fullback. We go what we call Falcon doubles right here now. So we chunk this together. You're going to get the H-back still in the wing, but now you get an offset I from the pistol. We can do this Falcon with a triples right, so we get in a 3x1 alignment with our pistol and offset I, but still have the H-back. One that Penn State has used with a lot of success. Again, you don't have to substitute personnel, but you can, again, with the A receiver, go with 2 H-backs, is what we call a diamond right. The Z and the X stay in their normal white alignments, then the A and the H come into the sidecar alignments with the B staying in the pistol. Another personnel grouping that's very successful is a double H-back. We simply take the A receiver out and replace him with our J, what we call Jaguar. Here, this would be our duo right then, so they both would do that off and over alignment. We can also use our Jaguar personnel with a trio right. Simply have the H and the J to the same side, what we call a heavy wing. Last, we can chunk together unique formations with personnel groupings by getting into a traditional wing T and QB under center alignment. We call this zebra right. Real simple. Our receivers stay with their directional rules with the Z and A to the call, but the Z now comes in as a traditional tight end with the A winged, and the H-back goes to the fullback with a quarterback under center, getting you into a wing T traditional alignment. You can see now we've got a lot of different variations we can add, but we keep it simple using the core formations of duo and trio, and then chunk together personnel groupings and offensive packages. Thanks.